Well, hi, and welcome to Two Wheels Better from the North Yorkshire moors. This beautiful countryside, we're just about to visit the small village of Hawes. And in Hawes, it's a popular biker meeting place. Young Paul knows more about it than me. It's more your patch, isn't it, up here, really, Paul?
It's a little bit nearer home for me, 95 miles for me today. How many for you, Jeff?
180.
Oh,
I think that used to
dear.
be 180. they used to say.
180, that's right, yeah.
But anyway, there's a serious point to today's visit because not only is it a popular biker meeting place, the police are here with Bike Safe 2000. You might have heard about this. This is addressed towards the older biker, not me, but the older, inexperienced biker. I knew you'd be sniggering at that
I'm not
one.
saying anything.
And I'm off to meet Chief Inspector David Short and find out all about Bike Safe 2000. David, we've got the caravan behind us, your own caravan. Bike Safe 2000, just what is it all about?
It's all about saving motorcyclist lives and reducing the accident casualty in the county. We've found that since 1994 the accident rate for bikers in our county has increased dramatically. We had 12 riders killed in 1995. That rose to 18 last year, 50% increase. The numbers of serious accidents involved bikers have increased as well, and we're doing something about it. We found that in the majority of cases it involved the older rider on high-powered sports machinery who were losing control on bends, simply going too fast, riding beyond their own ability. So this is why we're introducing Bike Safe 2000.
So lots of people, they blame car drivers, poor old Volvo drivers in particular, but this isn't always the case, as you found.
It isn't always the case. In the fatal and serious accidents that we're dealing with, sad to say, the motorcyclist is often to blame. They're simply riding these bikes too fast, beyond their abilities. And as you've seen from our beautiful twisting roads, we've got dry stone walls, we've got slow-moving agricultural vehicles, lots and lots of hazards, and bikers are finding themselves on the wrong side of the road, hitting vehicles head-on or running into a dry stone wall.
Another thing that lots of motorcyclists, I'm sure you know from reading the bike press, get upset about is police stopping them for small number plates, noisy exhausts. Are you into that, or are you doing this strictly a safety message?
We've changed our tack completely. We're all about reducing accidents. And the day somebody gets killed because of a small number plate, I'll really get worried about them. Until that time, we're concentrating on excessive speed, reckless and careless riding, but with a heavy emphasis on education. Now, that isn't a carte blanche, put whatever exhaust you want or small number plate on that you want. That's not the case. If you get stopped and you're going to get done for speeding, well, don't expect any mercy. But certainly the days of mass stop checks, looking for small number plates, as far as I'm concerned, are out the window.
One last thing for you, is the bike press behind this? What are you smiling for?
They're coming on board. I have to say there are certain elements of the motorcycle press which are not helpful. Most of them are starting to produce items now which are about road safety, improving riding skills, which I'm very, very pleased about. There are some which I would describe as irresponsible, who aren't helpful to us at all, and in fact, if anybody wanted to ban motorcycling tomorrow, they could only go buy one or two of these magazines off the shelf, and there's enough evidence in there to suggest we're all complete lunatics and we should be not on the road. So I've got a strong message for those magazines: get your house in order, because you're doing the motorcycling as a whole no service whatsoever.
Now this is traffic cop Mark Savage. Mark, you ride this 1200 Bandit. You've got a good job, haven't you?
I have, yes. It's very much a busman's holiday sometimes.
One of the best company vehicles I've ever seen. You go out and get amongst the lads, don't you, on this Bike Safe?
Right, yeah.
So, I mean, how do you go and get amongst them?
Well, we've got various tactics we employ, the marked bikes and to a lesser degree perhaps the unmarked bikes. We tend to offer accompanied rides to people who normally volunteer to have themselves followed and constructive criticism passed, if necessary, at the end.
So you don't kind of sit in a lay-by somewhere looking for a gang of lads going fast and then think we need to teach them a lesson?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, if people's riding is of that standard, then yes, we won't hesitate to enforce the law if necessary.
Right.
But education's really, at the moment, our prime concern to get these accident figures down.
Right. So how are you received by these gangs of bikers that you get amongst? Do they sort of say, oh, get lost, we don't need your blooming information? I mean, are they happy about it?
We have mixed reactions.
But you do, yeah.
I must admit, when we started this, I feared that people would be rather unreceptive. But surprisingly enough, people have been very good, and most people accept any advice you offer them in the spirit it's intended. So I've not had any bad experiences, to be honest with you. Everybody's been pretty good. I think they understand that we're not there to persecute. We're there to try and to get the figures down and improve their riding if possible and where possible.
Excellent. Right, well, I'm all for that.
Well, look who I've got here. I've caught up with one of the almost locals. It's Jeff Wilson. He's Chief Executive of the ACU. He's also a Director of the BMF. Jeff, welcome along to your local village. Well, it's hardly local, is it, Hawes?
Hello, Jeff. No, not so local. I live about 25 miles away from here, but I was born and bred between the stone walls of the Yorkshire Dales.
Literally.
Virtually, yes. Virtually.
Now, look, I know you know this country very well, but what do you think it is that the problem with the born-again bikers? I mean, you're a bit younger than me, but, you know, you're in your 40s, so where do you see there's a problem?
I think the problem with the born-again bikers is they don't understand very clearly the dynamics of riding a bike. It's a technical operation which those of us who never stop riding a bike probably do as second nature. We don't fully understand exactly what we do to control a bike to the maximum, but certainly the born-again riders don't respond naturally in the way that we do to emergency situations. And like flying an aircraft, riding a motorcycle is a technical operation. You need to understand in your mind how it works and what makes it respond in the way that it does.
Now then, you meet all kinds of people when you go on these biking places and these biker meets. Famous face here, Peter Armitage, famous from the street. Peter, you're local to here, fairly local.
I live just outside Skipton.
Right.
Yeah, and this is I come here sort of 2 or 3 times a week. Right. I like the cafe, I like meet other bikers. I mean, we love to talk about bikes.
Of course we do, nothing else. Now, this Bike Safe 2000 that the Yorkshire Police have got going,
right.
You're very, very passionate about this, aren't you?
I
You
am,
really
yeah.
feel strongly about this. Tell us why.
I do. Well, over the last year, you've got the sense riding around the A65, the A629, out of Skipton, Keighley, up to the Devil's Bridge, that people are riding phenomenally fast. I mean, these bikes have a potential out of the box of 160, 170 miles an hour. You know, the new Blackbird is some flying machine, isn't
Wild,
it?
aren't they?
Catches pigeons, you know. And a few friends have sort of bought it over the last few weeks, and I just thought that, you know, we need a sort of, you can ride fast, but you've got to ride safe, I think, mainly. I mean, every magazine you see, there's a bike up on the back wheel,
Well,
you know.
Yeah, I mean, but you can't, where can you do that?
You think these guys in Brussels ain't looking at all this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, they're looking, they're checking, they take all the magazines, they probably have it sent, don't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, of course, yeah. So,
And if we don't do something, they're going to do something, aren't they, I think?
Right. It'll
at
be
the
too
end of
late
the
then,
day.
won't it?
It will be too late.
Ruin it for us all.
Well, and what used to be a pleasurable sport and a great pastime where you meet fellow bikers, and only bikers really have those things in common,
Yeah.
and talk about 16 valve, you know, 4-cylinder 250s, you know, and they understand it, don't the bikers? Where you say it to somebody outside, if you haven't got a Harley, they don't know what you're talking about, do they? You know.
Yeah. Well, as we've seen or heard, Bike Safe 2000 is really aimed at the born again or the new biker. This is Bob Murphy. Bob, you're a new biker.
Yes, that's right. I came into biking really about 2.5 years ago now.
Right.
I'd always wanted a bike, but when I was a kid and that, I wasn't allowed it. There were dangerous things, so I just played around with friends' bikes and a few sort of illegal rides and so on, but never actually did the test.
Right, 2.5 years. So in 2.5 years, you've taken your test, you've got your licence, and now you're riding around on a beautiful VFR 750.
That's right.
Which just proves that it can be done if you do it properly and take the right route through it. So what's your route, very briefly?
Well, what I did was to go to a school and they put me then through the basic Ministry of Transport test. And I got through that and I got myself a bike at that stage, a Diversion 600, which is a good safe bike with lots of power and so on, but basically safe. And I spent about a year on that. And while I was doing that, took some more advanced training with the Institute of Advanced Motorists to help on the on the observation side and what to do when there are hazards and basically be able to ride faster, a bit more safely.
Yeah, right. And I see from your fancy badge here,
That's
IAM.
right. Yeah, well, I did.
You're involved with that now, aren't you?
That's right. I did the Institute's test about something like a year and a half ago now. And with them, I'm one of their observers, helping others get through it. And there are groups around the country who meet sort of on a Saturday morning usually, and take out groups of riders to help improve them, point out their weaknesses and ways that they can actually achieve their objectives, which by and large with bikers are to ride fairly swiftly, but to do it safely.
So what do you think of this Bike Safe 2000, this police initiative to make people ride within the limits and safely?
I think it's very important because with a lot of bikers who've come to ride these new powerful bikes fairly recently, they remember the older bikes, the good old BSAs and so on. And really this is a whole new ball game where bikes like this can do 150 miles an hour and out-accelerate a Porsche. I mean, it's just totally different, and it's very easy to jump on one of them and to make ultimately a fatal mistake.
And very possible, and it does happen, unfortunately.
It does.
So there you go, in 2.5 years, you've done the business, you've got a VFR 750, you're an observer for the IAM. That's brilliant, you can't say more than that. So it just goes to show that if you do it right, go the right route, anything's possible.
Well, that was Bike Safe 2000. Rather unfortunate that we couldn't find any aged bikers or new again bikers.
Oh, right. You're here.
Present company accepted, of course.
Yeah.
I've been at it for years and riding bikes as well.
I believe, no, there's no born again bikers. I've not found any born again bikers here.
No.
But it's a good thing, isn't it, this Bike Safe 2000?
I think it is. I think they're trying to get a serious message over to people, and they're trying to do it in the right way. I know you're a bit fussy about small number plates and things like that.
Yeah, I've got a bee in my bonnet about them. No, but it's a good thing because you can go out now and buy a bike in a showroom that's got more performance than probably a Grand Prix bike had 25, 30 years ago. So, I mean, you can't just get on it and ride it. You really need to update your skills in line with technology, and that's what they're trying to teach people to do, which is a good thing.
There's one thing, though, Paul. Interestingly, I was talking to a motorist, because you have to talk to motorists now and again, but this old fellow was saying it's been spoilt for him because on the roads around here, they can't go out at weekends anymore because there's bikers tearing about all over the place, frightening them to death.
Is there?
Yeah. What have you got to say about that?
Didn't mention me, did it? No, it doesn't matter whether you drive a car or a bike, does it? You've got to show respect for other people on the road. You can't go around driving like a lunatic. You know, but this Bike Safe is good because it just teaches people to hopefully stay in one piece.
Which is what it's all about.
Exactly. I mean, what we want is more bikes on the road, enjoying the countryside, enjoying the bikes, having fun, and not sat at home nursing their injuries.
Well, I couldn't have said it better, but God!